great day.
So far, so good.
Are you recording?
No.
Nope.
Okay, I'm recording. Is that all right?
Camera or audio?
Both.
Huh?
Audio, video.
Are we talking to Rich Gage's concerned resident, or are we talking to Rich Gage's content creator?
This is Rich Gage's citizen, journalist, concerned citizen journalist, and I guess those would be primary. There's probably other things I'm not thinking of.
So this is just content for YouTube?
No, this is to the reason I do it. I don't want to get off on a bad foot. I really don't. I do create content. I have a ton of content I haven't posted. Some of that I haven't posted just out of respect.
Okay.
There's things that look really bad on individuals, not even on the communities, just on individuals that I've been respectful and I've thought it's been a hard decision for me. And I'm trying to answer your questions openly and honestly. I think I asked the first question and I still don't have an answer to it.
I'm not sure.
Or maybe Jeff even reiterated my question.
Which question?
I'm audio video recording. Is that okay?
Well, that's I was gonna answer you after you answered my question. Are we talking to who are we talking to right now? And in what capacity are we having this meeting?
I'm a concerned citizen, and what was the other thing I said? Concerned citizen, and I'm also a journalist. Yeah.
I'm not going to stop you, but you don't have my permission, and you don't have my permission to monetize my likeness.
Okay.
So, you know,
Is this a public meeting?
I'm not going to stop you from recording.
Is this a public meeting?
No.
No, it's not.
No, you're a member of the public. It's behind closed doors. We haven't called a meeting to order. This is not a public meeting. This is a meeting. This is a private meeting between the administrator, the chief, and a resident.
And a public citizen.
You are a citizen, yeah.
Is this illegal? Or are you claiming any illegalities here?
I'm not claiming any legalities, one way or the other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we've recorded in this room before, and you've given me the video, and I posted it. So I'm looking at this, and as a public record, I'm looking at
I'm just
basically.
not commenting on it. I'm just.
If you want, is there a reason you're not recording this one, Jeff? Can we have you record then?
There's no necessity for me to record.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no lawful reason for me to have to record.
Oh.
I looked at this as an opportunity
for a
for
lawful reason. I'm just saying.
Rich, I look at this as an opportunity for us to have a conversation, that we've been waiting to do for how long now? For us to have between three grown men to have a conversation to answer questions, whatever you have, and just to talk about things. I don't know. I don't know. If it becomes adversarial, then obviously I would record according to our policy. But there's no reason by policy that I have to record this meeting. Look at you.
Well, I felt a little adversarial on your part when you went to the content creation. When I clearly want to meet as a citizen about a public issue of public interest. And this has always been a forum. Every time I've been in this exact forum, you all have recorded, given me the recording. And on some of those occasions, I also recorded. And this is the first time it's now an issue. And it's the first time
it's not an issue. You asked a question, and I asked for clarification.
My apology then. I must have read that wrong.
And I've told you I'm not gonna stop you from recording. I'm not gonna ask you to stop recording. I just,
I look at this recording as news, and that I have permission to do news reporting in here, news recording in here.
Well, how about we do what? Yeah. He already said he's not going to stop you from recording.
I'm not going to stop you from recording.
I appreciate that.
We're not telling you you're breaking the law. I'm also not a willing member of content being created for YouTube.
You got all kind of props, bud.
Yeah. So is it on me then? Is that where we're at?
I'm here to listen and to clarify any positions that you may have questions on. If you have any concerns or accusations, I can either help you confirm your opinions or stances on those, or I can refute them.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Were you able to review the restriction letter before today, recently?
Yep.
Awesome. And were you able to consider the solution that was proposed by Chief Doug? And I put in the email.
I'm not aware of any position the Chief Campbell's taken on this.
So he recommended at one point that we do a reset, and it was something I agreed with. I believe it's something you agreed with as well, Chief Jeff?
I would say I would agree with something if there's limitations to it, yes.
Okay. I believe Chief Jeff might have agreed to it at the time as well. I'd have to go back and find that video. And also in writing, Trustee Davis also supported that approach.
I've never had that conversation with him.
Okay, and I think I had sent that suggestion to you in email, and it wasn't accepted, to say the least. Did you say that all the evidence you have regarding the restriction and trespass is in this letter?
Is all the evidence in there? No, I'm referencing incidents that happened. I didn't append any evidence to it. I referenced the letter and stated that, well, what I stated, I guess I'm gonna stand by every sentence in that document right now.
Okay.
So, but to allege that there's evidence there, I cited instances that were concerning to us and the reason for setting the time and place restrictions.
Okay.
But that's not the case material or, evidence.
I understand.
Yeah.
So a lot of these questions, I'll be looking for primarily a yes or no response, but if you need to go
So
elsewhere.
is this a meeting or a deposition?
Well, I have a bunch of questions. I have roughly
Okay.
30 minutes to ask a bunch of questions.
Hit me.
Just to reiterate, the focus of the meeting is transparency,
Yeah.
Sure.
truth, and solutions. We just talked about solution that came from Chief Doug, myself, and supported by the trustee and possibly Chief Jeff as well. And
I don't necessarily
weren't-
agree with that statement that everybody's on board with this.
Yeah, I can share the
So-
video of the claims
Okay.
I make today. They'll be my opinion
All right.
as I'm stating them, but if you want to see the evidence. But if you need to give something other than a yes, no, if you could keep it short, even I don't know, or it takes more time or something like that, instead of going into detail, I would appreciate it respectfully. At any time was I trespassed from the apartment building on site up there or the property that gets me to the apartment building?
Let's have a clarification of terms. What do you mean were you trespassed?
Was I restricted from going on to either to the apartment building or on the property that gets me to the apartment building without making an appointment?
So the intent of that letter was to stop you from going to the back building. The area is controlled by the township. It was not my intent to stop you from going to the apartments.
In the lawn.
With that, yeah.
That's why
Well,
we drew
the
that
lawn,
map for you, if you remember.
So you asked for clarification on that because after that letter was sent out, you were seen on the lawn and right across from the building. So, yes.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So you asked for clarification and we provided that.
Is the ability to inspect records on site without an appointment a statutory right?
Refer to the Ohio Revised Code.
149.43.
No, I'm telling you, I'm not gonna cite verse and
Okay.
chapter. It's in the Ohio Revised Code.
Are you
Do
saying
have
that that's a yes?
We are required to provide you documentation in a certain period of time, a reasonable time frame. But if you just show up and say, I want to see X, Y, and Z, that doesn't give us a reasonable amount of time to produce it.
Is that a no then on that question? I'm looking for a yes, no, or a short answer. Is the ability to, or like an I don't know, I would accept that. Is the ability to inspect records on site without an appointment an Ohio statutory right?
I'm not an attorney.
Okay.
So
I respect
I'm telling
that. I
you,
appreciate that.
I'm trying to explain a scenario where, just showing up and demanding to inspect a document is not realistic.
I understand that.
We're not gonna drop
If I could
everything.
reclaim my time,
We're not
I
gonna drop-
apologize. Can I do that?
Well, do we
I have a lot of
want to have a full conversation about this? Or?
Not initially. Initially, I just want to have
Okay.
yes or no questions because I have roughly 30 minutes.
You got an hour, Rich.
You got an hour, Rich.
Okay.
Or we got a hard stop at 11, so you got 45.
there's
I have a lot of questions, so I'd like to get through the yes or no and then come back to the wordy answers if you don't mind.
Well, here's
I'm not
what-
trying to
all right.
upset you or disrespect you. You seem upset because I want to do something efficiently.
Well, let me kind of make a statement for you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Is because we've had these conversations a lot, as you know. Is I don't necessarily think that if our whole goal with this meeting is to be transparent, talk to one another, work through some things, and then put stipulations on how we're going to answer questions. I don't necessarily think that's fair.
Like I said, this is
Just being
Yeah.
straight with you.
The reason that it's fair is because without it, it gives you all the ability. And if you were asking me questions and time was constrained with you, it gives the individual the ability to filibuster. And instead of getting through roughly 30 questions, I'll have long conversations with you like this. That means I get through maybe half those questions. And so I did it respectfully. I said with respect. It makes sense. It's the way Congress operates.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not trying to be a congressperson.
Okay,
I'm
but
just trying
this
to
this isn't Robert's Rules of Order. I'm not trying to filibuster. I'm trying to answer your question.
And
It's not a yes or no answer. There is a time and place restriction on you that is reasonable. That is in consideration of your constitutional rights. That has been vetted by an attorney. You showing up and requesting a document at the spur of the moment and expecting us to drop everything to comply is unreasonable.
And I think
we won't be able to do that.
Rich, I think you understand too. I think anytime you deal with the ORC, the reality is that a lot of times there's no clear cut yes or no sometimes, but it depends because there's other things there's other sections that apply to other things, and when you're talking, that's why the Attorney General publishes the Yellow Book every year with public records, right? Because there's a lot of things that sometimes there's conflicts with one another.
My mind just isn't even there, Jeff.
Okay.
It's not even concerning the I understand what you're trying to say and what you're trying to do, and I just have a set of questions I'm trying to get through.
Well, keep going, but
Thank you.
I am going to try and answer fully.
Did I break an ORC code that day?
No, and we didn't allege you did.
Okay, and did I break any rule, policy?
No, that's not what we said.
I know,
Yeah,
just getting clarity.
Well, you didn't break a law.
Okay,
You were disruptive. It impeded the operation of the township. It impeded the
I
operation
appreciate that.
of Oak Hills. It impeded the operation of the athletic club. That's why you were.
You
that's
answered
why
my
you were
question.
told
Thank you.
They're
Thank you.
restricted. No, I'm going to elaborate. I'm allowed to elaborate. If I can't elaborate, then there's no point in having a meeting. You can't just dictate yes or no questions.
If you need
Move
to
on.
elaborate, just
You're
say,
not an attorney. This
just
is
say
not
I
a
need to
definition.
elaborate and we can come back to it. That's what I'm asking. If you can't
No, I'm
facilitate
going.
that, then I'll alter my...
I'm going to answer to the fullest extent as we go. I will not.
You're gonna
I will not
filibuster.
filibuster. You're going to have to at least give me the courtesy of answering fully.
On that day I was trespassed. I made a complaint to you about the cleaning lady. Is that true?
You weren't trespassed that day.
Okay.
You were told to leave because you were being disruptive, and then later on the time and place restriction was placed on you shortly after, within a week.
Okay. On that day, did I complain about a cleaning lady on that day? I made a complaint to you on a different day, but on that day about a cleaning lady. Is that true? That I made a complaint about a cleaning lady from that day?
You made a complaint about a cleaning lady. I don't remember when it happened, but it was in and around that time.
I understand that was complaint. That complaint was either ignored, and no investigation or action was taken. Is that true?
She's not a township employee. She's a private citizen. I'm not going to investigate a private citizen.
And you didn't communicate that to me at the time either, did
Actually,
you?
I think I did.
You did. Okay.
Yeah, because I remember having this discussion that she's not a township employee.
Throughout this whole thing relating to that day, is it true that I offered evidence, but that it was not accepted?
I don't know what you're referring to.
video evidence. I would offer video evidence of what happened in different interactions that day. And it was not accepted. I offered it to the chief, I offered some to you, and I offered some to the trustees, and
I don't know what you mean by not accepted. I think you've emailed it to us, and, I've seen it.
you've seen my videos
I believe so.
from emails?
If they were if you emailed them to us, I saw them.
Was I site restricted in part because I got sick in the building that day and puked?
Is that in that letter? Here, let's read the
I don't
letter.
believe so. I don't want to go through the letter because I don't have time.
Well, let's
if you
read-
want the source, Jeff told me that day that first thing he told me why was trespass, because he told me trespass. That's where I got that. It's on video. He said the first thing he said was because I puked
said
in the
it.
building.
You were disruptive to a business. You were disruptive to township operations.
So is that a no? I'm just looking for a yes or no.
Once again,
Rich,
this is not a deposition,
You
Rich.
can't
I
give
am
a
going
yes
to
or no
answer
to
these
that.
questions clearly.
Let me ask the question. And I'm truly trying to be respectful. I'm truly trying to understand. Here's what I struggle with. Okay, and if I need to make up your time in another day, we will.
All of us?
We'll figure that out. But here's what I don't understand. During a general conversation, if somebody has a problem about something that's transpired, they have a conversation about it to see how it can be rectified. We don't go through deposition style questions and expect and limit to how somebody's answering them. I got to be honest with you.
You don't want yes or no questions? Is that
That's
the
not what I'm
problem?
saying to you. I think that the whole feeling of this is silly. Let's be grown-ups and talk about it. This is
Rich, we've got a year plus of adversarial behavior, okay? And
No, that's not okay. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I'm not here to debate that.
Let me at least get my thought out, and then we can debate that, okay? In my mind, okay, there's over a year of adversarial behavior, okay, and as a way to help resolve that, we said, hey, let's all get together and have a conversation, okay? Let's try and have a meeting of the minds, all right? So the first thing you do when you come in here is you put a Guy Fawkes mask on the desk like it's supposed to be.
The video will show that's not true. Go ahead. I'll multitask while I make notes
What's
to
not
myself.
true? There's not a Guy
I'm
Fawkes
just
desk.
talking to myself here.
There's not a Guy Fawkes desk or a mask
Wasn't the
on
first
desk.
thing I did.
Okay, within 2 minutes of being in this room
Okay.
and getting your papers out, you got that out at the same time you got your papers out. In preparation for this conversation, you put a Guy Fawkes mask on the desk like it's supposed to be symbolic of something.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
That means something to me. Yes,
okay,
sir.
that's great. But
I gave notice of that as well. If that was a problem, when I gave notice, it should have been mentioned to me.
I
Rich, we're
don't
not.
care. I don't care about the mask.
Why
The
mention
point
it then?
is, because it's your attitude, it's your preconceptions coming into this meeting.
When
You're
I
not
took
here. I don't.
tests,
As it stands right now, I don't believe you're here for resolution. I think you're here to make a point. You come in and you set up a deposition. Okay, you're trying to control this meeting as a deposition. I'm trying to have a conversation. Chief is trying to have a conversation. You are being a pseudo attorney / journalist / content creator. I'm here to talk to Rich Gage's resident. I don't care about any of those other facades.
And what generally speaking, what people do generally, Rich, is say, okay, I have a problem with this, and how do we resolve it? We don't go through this, right?
Oh.
I mean, it's just not.
This is
can I talk now? Y'all been
this is
talking
an
for a little while
atypical
now.
inter-
When
by
you
all
said you were
means.
going to give me
Go
an
ahead.
hour,
Go ahead.
I don't think that was true. I think you've already broken that word.
We said that we would have a conversation for an hour.
You said I have an hour of time, is what I heard you say. But
So in other
that's
words,
fine.
what you want to do is talk the whole hour, and we can't talk at anything.
No, what I want to do was have.
You want me to answer
what I
yes or
wanted
no
to-
questions for an hour?
Can I
You
answer
want to
your
control
questions?
the
Yeah,
hour?
go ahead.
No, what I want to do is, because this meeting came right after you scheduled this, right after I said at a minimum, you could give me 30 minutes of time. So I came into this meeting thinking I'd have 30 minutes of time to kind of control the meeting, like be the the lead of the meeting. And they would have 30 minutes time roughly to control the meeting, be the leads of the meeting. And I take quizzes throughout grade school, high school, and college with a whole slew of yes or no questions. It's not unusual. And if you want to get answers to stuff, you want transparency, you want to get to the truth, you got to ask questions. And I'm trying to do yes or no questions. And now what we're finding is I'm not really getting this time. I'm getting what I feel is filibuster. I'm trying to communicate that in a respectful way. And you're saying you don't like the way I'm asking my questions.
Rich,
and I don't know how to get beyond that.
You're rephrasing me the incorrect way. I said, this is not how meetings usually go.
It is. I've led meetings before.
I can tell you that I've been a police officer for 32 years, and I've never had anybody come in with questions and answers like this. We have conversations like grown people. I've never had this in 32 years.
So can you once again just state one more time what the problem is with my questions are disrespectful? The way I'm coming across?
You're asking questions that aren't simple yes or no answers. They're not.
In that case,
then
all I'm asking you to do is say not a yes or no question.
Rich, hold on. Okay? So then you expect us to come back to it later to answer the rest of it. That's not fair.
If there's time.
So then you want an answer with us having to explain something. We can't give you an explanation.
You're not.
Then
you're
all
not
you have to say
listen,
is requires explanation, and we'll go to the next question.
You're not an attorney. You're not on.
I'm not trying to be
an
an attorney.
You're not controlling the narrative. That's exactly what this is. It's a deposition.
No, this is me trying to get to the truth.
I wanted a conversation.
This is me trying to get to the truth. And whether I made a complaint to you about the cleaning lady.
Keep going, we'll see how it goes.
Whether I made a complaint about the cleaning lady is a simple yes or no question and answer. And I either made that complaint or I didn't, or you don't know kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know how that's disrespectful.
I said you did on and around. So keep going.
The things that you didn't want me to do that day that I'm being site restricted for, and there weren't any policy, laws, rules, or anything like that I broke.
Rich, it's disruptive behavior, and I'm standing by that. That's the answer.
Why wouldn't there be a law, instead of restricting me as an individual, why not create a law to restrict the behavior that you're claiming that I've done?
Because there are 30,000 people in this township. You are the only one that is doing this. So I've got to, so we have to create a law to stop the one person that doesn't know how to act civilly?
On the things that I did that you disapproved of that caused the site restriction, was I given notice that I would be site restricted if I continued those behaviors, or was I given any notice ahead of time, either a sign or through some kind of writing, a policy, that I couldn't do the actions I was doing?
Do you think that your behavior was normal and civil and thought that just because it wasn't illegal there wouldn't be consequences?
I think in a civil society that if you obey all the laws, all the rules, and all the policy, and then you're punished without being given any kind of warning about your behavior, that one, I was civil that day, and I brought a clip I want to play at some point.
This is where I'm going to cut you off.
Yes, sir.
You think this is punishment? This is not. You have not been punished.
Has anyone?
This is not retaliation. This is standardizing the interactions with the township so that we can provide you information in the most clear, concise way, because your behavior it's chaotic.
What behavior?
It's chaotic and disruptive.
Can you name the exact physical behavior action?
What, standing in front of a business telling people that they're tax victims?
Can we focus on that one?
Filming into pre-K windows where 4 and 5-year-old kids are, and upsetting the staff of the pre-K. Filming into, yes, there is a level of privacy that public employees are allowed to have in their own offices. So while you weren't violating the law, it is abnormal behavior to film into windows of private offices. So yes, it is disruptive behavior.
The statement that you made regarding me looking into and filming into the daycare,
There's a police report.
Is it
on that.
possible to go and visit that daycare or to go up to that office without looking in the window? I mean, it's possible, but is it reasonable? In other words, the whole door and the whole wall around that door is made up of framed glass, correct?
Uh-huh.
So if you're walking up to the door and you're just looking up and you're looking at the building as you're going up, you're looking in the windows. Would that be correct?
Once again, there are 30,000 people that call this township home. You are the only one that disrupted the operation.
That's a question, Dodge.
Caused alarm to the Oak Hill school staff that you were filming into a pre-K.
That was a yes or no question, but I didn't ask about filming. Filming aside, is it reasonable that most anyone going up to that building to the door is going to be looking in the windows?
They're going to walk into, because yes, it is windows.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. But there is a difference. There is a difference between walking into doors and filming into windows.
Freedom of press is what I was doing that day with the filming. But there's no rule, policy, or anything like that against it, and you're creating. Let's talk about.
You have never been arrested. You have never been. There has never been. There has never been force used against you.
Have any of your employees reported that I've threatened them?
Threatened?
Yes.
Have we reached? No. If you were.
Are any of them in fear of safety from me?
That would warrant a completely different.
Are any of them in fear of safety from me?
Safety?
Yes.
No.
No. Okay.
Listen, have we tried to?
No, I appreciate those
answers. Have we said that we fear for your life? Have we said that you're a violent individual?
No, you haven't. And you confirm that again here.
Which is why this is a measured response.
Have any of your employees
what I am telling
reported?
You, let me explain. Let me explain my position.
Okay.
It's not my time then. He's just talking. He's talking.
Listen,
You watch when I analyze this.
You are trying to paint yourself as a victim of unjust force from the township. I am telling you that letter is a measured, considered response to the level of behavior that you've shown. I am not telling you that you're violent. I am not telling you that you're doing anything.
I agree with that. I don't need you to repeat yourself again and again.
What I am telling you is that your behavior...
It's not my time. If I'm not going to be able to ask questions and get
what I am telling you is that your behavior is disruptive to the public business of the township. But you're not listening.
I am listening. That's why I just was able to reiterate that.
All of your questions about whether you've done something illegal or not, you can skip.
Have any of your employees, and I'm not claiming they have, I'm just asking to understand, have any of your employees reported to you depression from interacting with me?
Depression?
Yes.
Not that I know of.
Have any of them reported nightmares from interacting with me?
No.
And, okay. Did
I allege that you terrify my staff?
No, I just don't know, so I have to ask so I understand. I don't allege it at all. No.
Right.
But I will say that I have alleged.
No one fears for their life in your presence.
I have alleged, and I'll look you in the eyes, that I've had a nightmare over interactions with your staff. I've gone through depression when I went up there ad hoc and I have a breakdown and I tell you this guy's depressing me over the weaponization. That's sincere and that's how I feel, whether it's right or not.
This is not weaponization,
Rich. That's fine, sir.
So if we're going to stick to the yes and no, we got to stick to the yes and no, bud. I mean, it goes both ways, right?
The HFIT staff that said they were uncomfortable around me, that's true, right? They're uncomfortable around me, and that's part of the reason that I'm being restricted. Can you tell me where that was? So in my mind, I had primarily 3 HFIT interactions. One with the cleaning lady in the building.
Mm-hmm.
These are primary. One with the head of the facility. I forget his name, Brian or David or something.
It was the management, operations, and the cleaning staff.
Okay, thank you. Which of those were uncomfortable to the level that it was used to site restrict me?
All the above.
All the above? Now...
This is a culmination. This is, there's a reason, the day you were filming in the school, the day you were filming into the township, it was tolerated, okay? But you didn't stop. This is a culmination, which is why I'm citing multiple instances. You didn't cross a line You know,
So-
and then we, you know, we weaponize against you. This is one second.
Sorry.
This was a culmination. This is a pattern of behavior that is disruptive to multiple organizations. And so we restricted time and place of your interactions so that we can continue business operations, and while still giving you avenues to interact in an appropriate manner.
My suggestion, Rich, would be this, okay? Is that if this whole meeting surrounds around that time, place, manner restriction letter, then my suggestion to you would be to seek legal advice from an attorney and take it to court and dispute it. Sitting here talking about this whole thing and disputing it and bannering back and forth a little bit. I say banner is a strong word. I don't mean it that way. We're not going to accomplish anything.
I've already accomplished some of what I want to accomplish. So I believe that statement is an untrue statement. I believe that if I get to play this part of the video and ask my question, that I will have accomplished more of what I wanted to accomplish. I thought this meeting was in large part for me as a citizen and you providing service as public servants.
Sure.
But I get in here and I think the hostility is coming from your side, not my side.
I'm talking like having a conversation.
And,
I'm pretty sure I've answered your questions. I've chosen to answer your questions as comprehensively as possible.
Filibusterly as possible.
Do you want a complete answer, or do you want to create a narrative with yes or no?
At the very beginning, I told you I want yes or no questions. If you think I'm creating a narrative by asking whether I filed a complaint to you.
Terms. I'm not agreeing to yes or no questions where you get to
Can I play
lead
this?
a discussion.
Can I play this now?
Before you do that, can I ask you one more question? And I'll shut up.
Yes.
I promise. Is it really, and this isn't about fairness because life's not fair sometimes, is it really, you ask a question and he provides an answer and then you give a dialogue? Is that really, that's not doing what
I don't
you're
think
saying?
that's what's happening here, but I can tell you, Lieutenant Rich, you and me sat down here about a very similar topic. Is at the very beginning of it. I think we talked close to 3 hours.
Yeah,
we laughed, we joked.
We did.
It was a serious topic, and you had a lot of questions for me on that day. It wasn't Rich Gage just wants to ask you a bunch of questions. It was you and Lieutenant Rich wanted to bombard me with. It felt like an interrogation, but I answered every question, I believe, openly and honestly. I didn't accuse you of anything of, hey, you're trying to ask me tricky questions, or hey, this or that. The only thing that's changed from there to now in terms of this context is Skylar Miller. And now all of a sudden, you seem to have taken a different side than let's have a friendly conversation.
Rich, I'm just giving you an observation from sitting over here in the corner.
I'm going to tell you right now that my responses are reasonable. I'm not filibustering. I am not citing all this past stuff. I am trying to get to the heart of your question.
Okay.
So
this is the interaction that was recorded by the HFIT staff. This is the one in front of the clerk desk. This was claimed before it was viewed by this woman that recorded it to be that this was going to prove that I was threatening. Then it was going to prove I was harassing. It was reviewed by a police officer saying it was neither of those. In here, you will distinguish my voice, and I want you to tell me, give me some adjectives for my demeanor and behavior on this day, or on this video here. Excuse me, I apologize. I'm not always hip on the phone stuff.
It wasn't that bad. Is that what she told Skylar Miller? Is that what it...
Excuse me, I apologize. This is me recording, and at the end of it, I'm commentating to the recording that just played. Let me put it to the beginning. I apologize. From the beginning. This is her, HFIT staff, showing this video of me threatening, harassing to a police officer.
Facility, question mark, like a tax bill. Does that make sense?
Rich, pause it just for a second.
Yes, sir.
All right. Respectfully and truly,
Yes, sir.
I can't hear that.
I
And
respect that.
it's not me trying to be an obstructionist. I am literally hard of hearing. I'm wearing hearing aids.
No, I believe you. I trust
Okay,
you.
all right.
I appreciate you stopping and taking that
yeah.
time out.
Okay.
Can I ask you this?
Yeah.
Did you hear this enough to know whether you've seen this video before or not?
I could hear your voice. I don't know if I've seen that video with all the words on top
Or in other
of it.
words, okay, have you seen the HFIT video of me being down there?
I think I have,
Okay.
but we're talking about something that happened a year ago, so I'm not going to have a precise recollection. So you know.
Do you think that based on the video you saw, do you recall watching that video? In other words, I'm just gonna make my claim. I apologize.
All right.
This video shows that what they claimed is opposite of what they claimed. I was professional. I was asking questions. This was roughly 10 minutes after the lady that was the cleaning lady.
Rich, if you're
I
standing
can't finish what I'm saying.
Sure.
This was roughly 10 minutes after the cleaning lady, in her own words, she says she went off on me, cussed me out in her own words. That's on my phone as well. The other lady that heard it secondhand, what she did, one of your staff, said he came in, video recording her, asked her for her name. She said, I'm not going to give it to you in essence. He said, you're a public employee. She said, no, I'm not. Fuck you. Gave me the finger. That's how it was described by one of your witnesses.
All right.
Does that sound like...
Private citizens don't like cameras stuck in their face.
That wasn't a private citizen. That,
Yes, it
that was
was.
a proxy. A proxy. That lady is hired by a company that Delhi Township hires to do essential business.
Yes. And,
Correct?
And not all contractors qualify as public employees and are held to the same scrutiny.
News reporting, there's nothing up there restricting me other than after the fact
I understand.
of you doing that. And the thing is, when you start getting into what I believe is that these were not content neutral. That when you say I talked to this lady and I was talking to a lady, it was consensual conversation with those people going in. At no point did she say, I don't want you to talk to me, shut up, don't listen to me, nothing like that. So it's a consensual conversation on a matter of public interest that you all are using. That's not content neutral. Your restrictions.
But that's not the only thing you did.
Yes, and
Okay.
and Chief Jeff says that was a key reason that I was site restricted up there.
And I'm telling you, it's a culmination.
And I'm telling
It's
you that's a content based.
It is a culmination of multiple days of erratic and disruptive behavior. You're talking about one instance out of all of them. Okay, you had a bad interaction with her, and she complained about you to her boss. Okay, but what about you chalking in front of their building and they're trying to clean it up, and then you're re-chalking? And what about standing in front of their building and telling their patrons? What about talking, approaching their patrons and saying you're tax victims?
Well, that's not what I said. What I said is what she quote. What I said was what was written on the sidewalk, which is what I quoted right here.
What were you telling the patrons as they were coming in?
I believe what I said is I read off the sidewalk. If you like this facility, and I'm paraphrasing, if you like this facility, thank a tax victim. I wasn't calling them anything.
Okay.
I was reading what's on the sidewalk. Consensual conversation.
Not trying to misquote you.
You're bringing it up as something that can be used to restrict my site access based on the content.
Yeah.
I'm making a grievance about government to another citizen in a consensual conversation, and you're using that to oppress that speech.
I disagree that it's consensual.
Okay, I'm just giving.
It's not consensual when you approach people that are.
Did that citizen complain?
They're coming to.
Did those citizens complain?
I would have to find out from management, but
they're not on
listen,
any. I don't believe they spoke with any officer because they aren't on any officer body cam.
No, they didn't.
They aren't. I don't believe that they're mentioned in any police report.
They would have walked in. They would have walked into HFIT, or excuse me, not HFIT. They would have walked into the athletic club, talked to HFIT employees, and said, "Who is this guy?" But that's neither here nor
Are
there.
dogs allowed to walk up on that sidewalk with their owners on a leash? Can people walk their dogs up there on that sidewalk?
Yes.
So me video recording from the sidewalk is disturbing to the extent you want to sight restrict me.
Except you weren't videotaping from the sidewalk. You were walking into flower beds.
One time.
Once again, this is a culmination. That's what I'm telling you.
So the one time I was in the flower bed recording, I had pre-approval from your employee.
You did not have pre-approval to videotape into.
Ask Donna.
No.
Pre-approval. I went in there. I forget what else I was doing. Maybe a records request.
I told
you.
And
I said I'd like to record out there like what happened that one day I was there without a camera. Yeah. Is that okay? And she said
like,
that's
am
okay.
I allowed to stand in a flower bed?
I'm stating a matter of
illegal.
fact based on recollection. It's a matter of fact. I may have video of that as well. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. But I know for a fact she gave me pre-approval and you weren't there and you're stating as a fact that I did get pre-approval from
I do not believe
it's radically ridiculous.
I do not. What's radically ridiculous is your behavior over multiple days, where I received multiple complaints. That again is a measured response to erratic and disruptive behavior.
Hearsay. But is this mostly based on hearsay? You hear complaints from other citizens. What they're complaining about is hearsay. You didn't.
Well, there's a police report from Oak Hills. I mean, to me, from.
You mean from Delhi Center up here, the town center?
Yes, from the Oak Hills pre-K staff. There is a police report. Is there not, Chief?
Yeah, there's an incident report that was made. And you got a copy of it at some point.
Yeah.
The police report is highly tilted. I pointed out several things in it. I wasn't complaining that day.
You can call it what you want.
I wasn't complaining that day, correct, Jeff?
Yeah.
I'm not. I got to be honest with you, Rich. I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Let me just state the facts. They made a police report on this 9/19 day, and on that day I wasn't complaining. Mm-hmm. On the police report, I was nowhere listed as a complainant. On that day, I mentioned that this lady, public disturbance, and also I felt threatened. They didn't even go and look for the lady. They didn't even go to interview her until I pointed her out as she was leaving to her car.
What would you like me to do to a private citizen that tells you to F off?
Well, I would like, if they work in the capacity where they're indirectly doing work, if they're doing work for a company that you hired to do work for Delhi, and they're on the job doing that work, then I want you to have a conversation with that company and whether there's repercussions based on their response or whatever is a deeper conversation. The other thing I'd want you to do as a minimum is to communicate with the citizen making the complaint and to say, hey, if you have video of that interaction, I'd like to see it and look at it because they're claiming something different than you're claiming.
I'm pretty sure I had a phone call with you after all this, and you were triggered because I said your behavior was weird. And you're like, oh, I'm weird now? And you started losing your mind on me. We ended up hanging up on that conversation because your behavior was erratic. Do you have a recording of that call? I don't, because I don't.
No, I don't have a recording of that call.
But it was.
Didn't have my camera at that time.
Please.
I did not have my camera at that time.
All right, that's fine. So you were triggered because I said your behavior was weird.
I don't want to get into why I was triggered, but that's fine.
So. I couldn't even have a conversation with you at the time. I was trying to be open and honest with you right after all this happened.
So if you watch this video, you're going to see that this was a large chunk of my interaction with the clerk staff. And I'd ask you, just in your own integrity, to review this video. You can look at it online. I can send you a link to look at where it's more clear, or from her, wherever. And ask yourself what my demeanor was then, and this was 5 to 10 minutes after getting cussed out. Then I'd like to play you a video of what I just described there. This is the interaction that she's claiming I had with her. And it's similar to what I told Chief Jeff. He said, he asked me something about cussing. Did you call her names or something? I said I called her one cuss word, not to her or at her. I said it to my audience and my camera. And that's true to this day based on my recollection and other things. What she says, let me play this video.
Don't forget, Mr. Miller can't hear the videos.
You can tell me about them. I'm not going to argue the content of your videos. Tell me about them to get you.
Let me just talk to you real quick, okay?
Oh, I kind of hear the lady over there asked me to take a picture. I'm trying to get
Can I pull this to me?
Yes.
The lady over there asked me to take a picture of her right on the sidewalk. I did. As soon as I announced me in the glass doors, and I give her back the phone. He comes in, he said, "Can I get your name?" I said, "No. You don't need my name. You government workers? No." And he started going on rambling, and then he goes in the building, comes back out, and he says, "And this is the biggest bitch of them all." I said, "You know what, dude? You need to go get laid or something, you little asshole." And I went off on him.
Okay.
So I did say something to him. I don't remember exactly what I said, but yeah, I went off on him. Calling me the biggest bitch of them all.
What's your first name?
Angela.
So
All
I
right.
went to the
All right, so I could hear that. So let me get this straight.
Yes, sir.
All right, so not to her, but to your audience, where she could hear it, you refer to her as the biggest bitch of them all.
No, that's what she claims.
Okay, well, you're presenting that as evidence
Of what
okay?
she claimed, yes.
Okay, well, so she claims that, and then she says she goes off on you.
Yeah.
Okay. Two private citizens, all right, exchange words, right? They're heated words.
Okay.
One says mean things about the other says mean things to them. What would you like me to do about that?
Equal treatment under the law. I was given
Okay.
site restriction in part because of that.
Did she did she come to your house to cuss you out? Did she come to your place of work to cuss you out?
She came to the people's building, and
she came to
I don't
do a
want.
job.
I don't want to assign intent to her.
Okay.
I don't want to say why she did what she did.
She didn't wake up that morning and say, "You know what? I'm going to be abrasive to Rich Gages. I'm going to give me a reason."
They did a great job
to
of
pick on somebody.
steering me away from these questions. I was hoping to get through, even with the approach they were taking, at least half
Through
of them.
6 pages of deposition.
No, just I was hoping to get through. Some of these were going to be skipped over because they weren't yes or no. That was a sacrifice I was willing to make that you all weren't. And I was hoping we would have a more productive conversation.
Me too.
I was hoping that I wouldn't be in such. And you made some claims. This video is gonna go back and be analyzed. But if you remember, one of the early things I brought up, one of the first things I brought up was solutions. Is the first word I used in the trustee meeting to verify that's going to be a big focus of this meeting. It was one of the first things I brought up in this meeting, and you weren't even aware of it. From what I understand, you responded. It was initiated by Chief Doug in a conversation I had with him. It has partial approval, and it had the approval, the backing of a trustee Davis, and you weren't even aware that there was a solution pending out there the whole time we're going through this mess?
Nobody has approached me with a solution like that. Okay.
Well, I believe I have the emails that show.
Let me put it this way: no trustee has asked me to rescind that letter.
Right.
Okay.
Right, but I'll have to see if I sent you his email that said he supports a reset. But is that something that you're not willing to consider now? Let's go back to solutions.
Rich,
let's get away from the questions.
Let me make something very clear.
I'm trying to find middle ground.
I am not God Emperor of Delhi Township. I am a direct instrument of the board. I manage the township on the day-to-day operation. I conduct the business of the township on behalf of the Board of Trustees. Every single thing I do, every authority I have, every action I take is delegated from the Board of Trustees. Okay? So if
Are you saying they delegated the decision of giving this letter to me?
I'm telling you that they have directed me to continue the good operation of the township and to conduct the business of the township. So if I bring an issue if I bring an issue up to our law director or to the board and I say, hey, we have a disruptive issue going on It is impacting our ability to conduct the business of the township.
Was it physically disruptive?
Was it physically disruptive?
Yes.
Yes, you are physically stopping my township employees
How so?
from being able to conduct the business
How
of
am
the
I
township.
physically stopping them? Am I holding them? How am I physically stopping them?
How are you physically stopping them?
Yep.
Every public records request you put in is taking them away from their primary job. Every time
And
you
that-
stand,
that's part of the
every
reason
time
I'm
you
being site
stood in that
restricted?
building, every time you stood in that
That's
building.
one of the reasons I'm being site restricted.
What?
Is
For public
be-
records requests?
Yeah.
No. But
You
that
just
is what
mentioned
you've
it.
done. Yeah,
It's mentioned in the letter.
I am explaining. No, there is nothing in that letter that says because.
It doesn't say
because
that, but you
have-
list countless records requests, right?
Yes.
Why do you list that in the letter?
Because you are stopping people from doing their job. You are wasting taxpayer dollars.
That's not their job, is to fulfill my records request? That's not their duty?
Retaliatory ones?
You're saying
I mean-
you're saying I'm submitting. You're now assigning intent to my submission of records request.
Okay, well, when you
This is an
when you-
intimidation
when
of my
you hear-
statutory right.
When you hear something you don't want to hear, and the next thing that comes out of the next email we get is you talking about this absurd weaponization of the government against you, and I want every employee's personnel file. That does seem a little retaliatory.
Is that a problem for you?
Is it a problem for me? It should be a
Is it a
problem.
reason? Is it a reason in part to site restrict me?
No, I am not site restricting you because of that. I'm saying
No,
I'm saying that you are
Are my
escalating
records
your
are my
interactions
records requests countless?
compared to everyone else. Yes, they are.
Meaning what? You can't count them
No, I am using it figuratively.
figuratively.
Yes, figuratively.
Now-
you have an absurd number of public records.
At the time of that letter being put together,
you know what? We're going to
how far were you going
We're going to
back?
continue to fill every public records request that's lawful.
At the time you put that in that letter, that it was put in that letter, how long were you looking back to make that determination? A year? Couple months? The last 2 months? 3 months? 4 months? 6 months before you put the letter together?
You're asking me to answer something from 14
Doesn't
months
matter.
ago.
I'll pull back the question. Here's my records request for the last 2 months. I asked for them for roughly the last 5 months before the event.
Uh-huh.
You gave me the last 2 months. There's 12 records requests
I
in
didn't
here.
give that to you. Lori did.
Well, I'm using you as
Yeah.
Delhi Township.
Mhm.
12 records requests. That's 6 a month. Is that too many?
6 a month?
Yes.
That's an inordinate amount. Yeah.
Is it true?
It's not countless.
Is it true that for non-news reporting purposes,
Uh-huh.
the limit is 10 a month?
No, we don't have a limit on public records requests
No, the law is 10 a
Commercial,
month.
for commercial purposes. it's
for
10.
commercial purposes.
For news reporting
Okay.
purposes, it's unlimited? Is that correct?
Refer to the Ohio Revised Code.
We have 4 minutes left. I just want to recognize that. I do want to end this on a positive note that I'm able to, and say thank you for showing up. I've been trying to get this meeting for over a year now, and is it true that you've denied me the ability to have this meeting?
No,
with
I've
you?
said I won't do a phone call with you because I feel when we have phone calls, you misrepresent what I say. Which is why I prefer.
This in-person meeting we're having right here. Are you saying that I had the opportunity to have this meeting before today?
Yes, I think you have.
Wow. Okay, I'm sorry. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will you be scheduling another meeting?
Is it going to be a deposition like we talked about today? I mean, is it? I
I don't really feel. I don't feel like it was a deposition.
Let me ask you this: have we made ground for you? Has this been in some way a positive interaction for you? Do you feel like we've accomplished something?
Different questions. It has not been a positive interaction. We have accomplished some things.
Okay.
If I was grading this, I would say it was a fail. I would say
agree.
I would say we could have done a lot better to try to avoid
I think we could have had a good hour
what can
conversation.
escalate very quickly in ugly ways. And I'm not. That's just not me saying, "Oh yeah, I can sue you or whatever," or if I pass away tomorrow, I can leave my estate to take up my cause of government accountability in Delhi Township. There's a lot of ways I can spend that $12,000. I get other auditors in here that have 1 million followers that get the money where they can follow through on appeal and lawsuits and stuff. But it's not just that. I understand that you could probably hem me up really bad, really quickly if you wanted to. And I respect that. I think there's a kindness in there and a coming toward the center that needs to be recognized. And, you know, I get blamed a lot of things with the intent and this and that. And I really don't like people questioning my character in ways when it's false or untrue. And I think what you did here today it is disgusting. I think that what I saw with the township lawyer when I brought up transparency and solutions and truth, it looked like he's shaking his head no on the down low. The conversation I had afterwards with him.
You had a 15-minute conversation with him. You shook his hand and then you called him scum.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that is correct.
All right.
He told me that he broke his word. He told me he's going to walk with me. Then at some point he stopped walking with me. He told me that while we talked, he told me that he wasn't going to keep talking with me because I was interrupting him. Mm-hmm. He had interrupted me. I counted at least 4 times up to that point. Lieutenant Myers interrupted our conversation to converse with me, and then lawyer guy interrupted me and Lieutenant's conversation. Interruptions are a natural part of a conversation, and when he used as an excuse to shut down open dialogue and encourage me to make a lawsuit, who wins in a lawsuit? I can tell you, it's my opinion. I sue, citizens lose, I lose.
The township loses.
Township loses.
Yeah, and attorneys make money.
And attorneys make money. Skylar Miller has immunities. Trustees have immunities. I understand why y'all are pushing for the lawsuit. That makes sense.
Dude,
it's an easy out for you. I really don't think you came to the table with good intention.
We haven't broken the law and we haven't violated your rights.
You have.
No, we haven't. No, we haven't.
If you want,
there has been no weaponization.
If you want, I'll leave you with this just initial analysis. I didn't bring it with me because it's so many pages. That's fine though. We can both lose. I'll get in deposition. We'll see what the truth is. And this was the last result I wanted. I did not want to leave here with an attitude that's going to get me making decisions that are going to financially harm me, but
Rich,
be the right decision to make. It's the right thing to do.
I came here willing to have an open and honest conversation
but not answer
with
yes
you.
or no questions.
No, I did not have any intention of coming in here.
This is going to show that y'all had problems with yes or no questions. It's sickening.
That video is going to show.
This is not a transparency.
That video
movie.
is going to show that you don't like clear answers to your questions.
No,
it's going to show. It's going to show that
it's going to show that clear answers take a lot of time.
It's going to show that I'm willing to answer your questions, but you don't like the answers that you hear.
Do you understand?
I'm sorry,
do you understand why I wouldn't want long
for
answers
you.
in a
Do you understand that you came in here trying to create a narrative, and I'm sorry to burst that bubble for you. I gave you clear and concise.
Yes, I came in here with the narrative of truth, transparency, and solutions. First thing I brought up was
which you were actually.
I had sent that. I'd sent you an email ahead of time asking you to consider solutions. If you had any solutions you were going to propose, I would consider them ahead of time if you sent them to me.
My solution.
I sent you my solution.
Okay, guys. My solution was to come in here and listen to you.
Thank you, Jeff. I think that's probably our time, sir. I think we're going to level 2. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it means a lawsuit. I don't know if it means I'm going to start offering $1,000 for auditors to come here and do their own audits and let you treat them the way you treated me and them with more outreach and more power.
Listen.
You can deal with the phone calls.
There is 100 other things that I could...
With their lawsuit, I don't know what I'm going to do now, but I know we're at level 2.
There are 100 other things that I could be doing with my time.
I intend to be legal as always.
I gave you time.
Your body language said a lot today.
Issues.
That's how you looked at me in the last meeting, eye to eye, looking at me, a little bit upright. You had a lot of sloped head today, I believe. We're going to see if that's true or not. You were a disgrace, and I think this is going to show it. That's disgusting what you did today. I can tell you, if you came to this meeting, if I was in your position, you came into this meeting with questions like I had, just like you asked me. I answered. Did I answer every question you had in the 3-hour meeting?
Do me a favor.
Did I answer every question you had in the 3-hour meeting?
Can I talk, please?
I have a voice problem.
Okay. Can I talk?
Yes, sir.
Please, and please don't interrupt me.
Okay.
Okay, because that's not how we have conversations. Here was the goal of today's meeting, okay?
Okay.
Is that my hope and my goal and my prayer for this meeting was for us to be able to sit across from one another, have a conversation, work through whatever it takes, and see what we can do to improve what's going on, okay? That was my goal. That's it. I didn't need to bring.
That was my goal.
I didn't need to bring 10 pages, and I didn't count them, so I don't know how many pages are there. I didn't need to bring 10 pages of questions for you to answer. I needed to be able to look you in the eye and have a conversation with you, because we've always had a good relationship. To be able to have a conversation and say, hey, if I was in your shoes, Rich, okay, I would have brought the copy of the letter that you received, the time, place, manner, restriction, into this room today. And I would have said, hey, I know these last couple of years have not been very good. Whether you want to take responsibility or whoever wants to take responsibility, okay? I would have brought that letter and I would have said simply, what can we do about this? I wouldn't have started off by answering questions and having and all these questions and then demanding it be a yes or no question and not allow us to have an open dialogue to talk about it. I prefer open dialogue, bud. That's all. I got to be able to explain things. When you ask a question about the ORC, 99 out of 100 lawyers are going to say it depends. So go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. I thought I was going to listen to your position. I thought we were going to talk about the townships and try and have a meeting of minds. Instead, you came in here and created this deposition adversarial back and forth and demanding yes or no's, trying to control this meeting. I thought this was going to be give or take. It wasn't. You took this hour and you created this false narrative where we have to be adversaries. I don't believe that. Let me restate.
I apologize.
That's all right. 30 seconds. All I want to do, okay, is protect the continuity of business operations in the township. When I talk about business operations, I am talking about the business of the township operations, okay? Your behavior has been erratic and disruptive in the past, okay? That's my opinion, okay? That is the basis for that letter. I set a time and place restriction on your interactions with the township in order to try and stabilize or create some order in those interactions. That's it.
You recently let me up on the township property. It wasn't long ago. It's the first time I think in a year. You know what I'm talking about? You let me go up on site. I forget what I picked up. Did that go okay? Or were there complaints?
That was the first request that was actually township business.
Was that good? I mean, all in all,
I have no issues with that.
That wouldn't be cumulative.
Yeah. And that is a perfect example.
Now, can I refocus on one other thing?
Sure.
At the very beginning here, because this is important, because I don't want to say where you all are. I just want to say in part where I think you are and where I think I am. And I don't think any of us want to leave this meeting and go to level 2. I just don't think it's not a threat. It's just saying neither of us wanted to go through level 1 to begin with.
The whole point of this was de-escalation. Keep going. I'm sorry.
So a solution has been put on the table, a proposal, an initial draft that's supported by leadership within this township, leadership that's been here, I would guess 40 years all in all, probably 50 years all in all, between the 3 people that I understand would recommend this.
What solution?
A reset. We reset. Hey, if it doesn't go like you want it to, you issue a new restriction. We're back where we are now. If it goes like I want it to go through, and I can tell you there's some things that I want that...
If you wanted a reset, then why did you come in here creating an adversarial deposition?
I mean,
the reason is...
So
can I answer the question?
Yeah.
If the camera was part of the adversarialness of it, I've used it before with Jeff in here, and he's used his own camera, and it's never been an adversarial thing. It seemed to be adversarial. I don't think I was adversarial in this. I apologized when I thought I was wrong. When I interrupted, I tried to apologize. I started with the solution. And the reason that I came in here with the questions is one is that I thought you were already aware of that solution and the people that were behind the solution, the leadership of the township, including a trustee. And I thought I communicated that to you through email. And in addition to that, I'd sent you an email yesterday saying, hey, can you reconsider that solution? And if you have your own solutions or something you want me to consider, please send it to me. So coming into this meeting, the message that I was interpreting from you was that you don't have any solutions to propose. You don't have
I wanted to hear
you don't have any counter solutions to the reset proposal. And so let me just bring up that reset proposal. We didn't spend a lot of time on it on either side. And so I moved on to the questions. And
timeout, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And if it's still on the table,
we're way over time. But let me end with this. Okay. The reset that I want is this meeting. Let's try this again. Don't bring paperwork. Don't bring your Guy Fawkes mask. Come and sit with us. Water, coffee, whatever.
French fries.
You talk about your opinions. We'll talk about our opinions. What's that?
He said, well, I'll bring waffles. I said, I got a half a burrito in the car.
Whatever. Okay. Let's take the temperature down.
I'll do that. If there's other things that would help you feel better, can we do the camera still?
I don't really care about the camera.
Okay, I appreciate that.
It was the whole attitude from that side of the table. That's what I felt was adversarial. The deposition format. Do you understand that depositions are generally adversarial?
Depositions, yes, but not always yes/no questions.
Fair enough.
In congressional
I'm not asking
format. When a witness is even favorable to the congressperson asking the question, the congressperson will still respectfully reclaim their time.
I don't want a congressional. So hear me out. I don't want a congressional hearing.
There's no way to efficiently get through a set of questions.
I'm not looking for efficiency. I'm looking for three guys to talk and find some common ground. That was the whole point of this meeting today, and it got derailed in the first 30 seconds. Okay, so what I want is for the three of us to sit in a room and talk. We can go off topic. We can bullshit about football for all I care. I want us to talk and find some common ground. You want to reset, that's how we start. We can get to the point where we're talking about that letter, okay, and how we can turn the temperature down. I don't think that a good solution is to just turn that letter off. But can we talk about something that you feel is more reasonable and that I feel still protects the integrity of business operations for the township? Sure.
Do you think that there's something that could be done at some point in the future to turn that letter off?
Yes.
Okay, and do you think you've articulated to me what that is?
No, we haven't.
We haven't had a chance.
We haven't had that talk.
You don't think
this
that
is why I am
important?
encouraging a meeting of the minds.
Do you believe it's true that I've asked for that information?
If you listen, we put that letter out, and the very first thing you did is you tried to you went with this ad absurdum argument.
Hey, Lori.
Where, yeah, we got to get out of here. They've got another meeting, but. You went to the absurd and said, well, can I have an agreement with,
you're a dragon, right?
What's that?
You're a dragon, right?
I'm a dragon.
Martial arts?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, martial arts, taekwondo, hapkido, jiu-jitsu,
I just think of you as dragon.
Yep. So I'm good.
So I have one question.
Yep.
And we'll leave a parting note, my friend.
Okay.
You mentioned a good experience the last time that you were given permission to go up to the township.
On their side.
Okay. It was a good.
You conformed to that letter.
It was a
You
good.
abided by it. That's the first time.
I video recorded through Windows, like is mentioned in that letter. So I don't know if I'm allowed to do that or not, or if it's going to be cumulative to something else or not.
But let me finish this for a second.
I also probably video recorded through the daycare windows as well.
Let me finish. Okay.
And I think you can see it from Google Earth as well.
Here's what I'll tell you, right? Is coming in our lobby and filming, it's not illegal. Coming into our lobby and asking questions, it's not illegal. In fact, you know how I am.
The PD lobby or the one up there?
In any lobby in general.
Okay.
okay? Coming in and asking questions, adversarial stuff between you and I enjoy that. We've had that discussion many times, right? But I'm going to tell you that the average citizen, when somebody walks up to them with a camera and puts a camera in their face and they start talking off topic about tax. Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish.
Okay.
This is just the total. I'm not saying anything happened.
Okay.
I'm just saying that the average citizen is very uncomfortable with that. So when that happens, it just makes them go googly-eyed, right? So if we can have a conversation and you show up and you conduct yourself in a manner that goes with the norms of society, it's never going to be a problem, my friend. I promise. And you always think that we're creating this mantra that it's going to be adversarial, that we want to cause some weaponization. I got to be honest with you, Rich. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for this meeting today, but we made time for that.
You get paid for this. I don't.
Listen.
I didn't say that.
You have a bias in and of that.
You're missing what I'm saying.
Getting paid
Totally
is
out of
not
context.
the point. We've got things that we've got to do.
You're missing my point.
Okay.
Nobody's saying
You're
taking it out of context.
It's budget season. There's grants that I should be writing right now. There are things I should be doing in service of citizens of the township. I should be doing my job. This is taking me away from those things.
My only question.
This is taking the chief, who is overseeing law and order in the township,
Nobody's
away from
forcing
that.
you to be here.
No,
You're
yes,
missing the
we
point.
are outreaching to
No, I
you.
understand. I appreciate you making the sacrifice to spend time. That was one of the first things I said. Was I wanted to recognize you and thank you. It's one of the first things I said.
I hear you,
in the trustee
but we
meeting.
want to, but we're doing this because we want to de-escalate and take the temperature down, not come in here and subject ourselves to depositions.
Here's where I'll ask you. This is where I ask you between mine and your interactions in the future. Please do this for me. And if you don't, you can tell me to crap in my hat or do whatever you want.
Yep.
I know you won't, by the way. If you think that I'm asking a question or I'm acting in a manner that I'm weaponizing government, please ask me. Don't assume that I am. I'm not. I'm not that way. We've never been that.
I would like to
the
say
last thing
that-
I'll say.
Are you an ADA coordinator? And then I'll give you last word.
I'm sorry.
Two quick things. Are you an ADA coordinator for Delhi?
What do you mean ADA coordinator? As far as access
the
to buildings?
Disabilities Act, the American Disabilities Act,
No.
ADA. You're not an ADA
No,
coordinator.
I'm not actively doing that.
Who is the ADA coordinator for Delhi? And are you aware that I've communicated my understandings of disability with relation to Rich Gage's? Has anyone
I don't know
communicated
what
to
you're
you that-
talking about right
Has
now.
anyone communicated to you that Rich Gages has communicated to Delhi?
Why are you
with regard to
talking in the third person all of a sudden?
Because I try to take myself out of the bias of it.
Okay.
And the thing is, it's because some of the things you listed in that letter are symptoms of disabilities that I believe I may have. And so when you start attacking me on things like too many insistent questions is a symptom of a lot of different disabilities, including ADA, which is very common in society. So I'm just saying that, I'm not saying I'm attacking you. I'm just saying please consider some things that you may not have considered in the past, including whether you call them disability, character flaws, or whatever. I try to make right by apologizing on the back end.
Everything you're saying,
that.
right?
Last word. I'm done. Other than goodbye type stuff.
The ADA needs and how should I say it? Reasonable accommodations. First time we've ever talked about that. Those are the kinds of things that I want to talk to you in a free and open conversation. Okay? So and I'm willing to have those. You don't have to put in a records request. I know we're running out of time.
No,
you don't have to put in a records request for every single employee of the township. You can just email me a question. And generally speaking, if I'm allowed to answer that, like legally allowed to answer it, I'll just give you an answer. We don't have to send, personnel files or whatever to an attorney who's, once again, we're both losing because that's the attorney making, hourly money on reviewing those requests. Just ask me a damn
I
question.
don't know that because I couldn't find out what he's making or if he's volunteering his time. But
yeah, because that's
I
a
just wanna
time.
let you know, it does
And
have
I explained to you that's an
I
attorney-client
take
privilege.
those records, I put them in AI. That's how
Yeah.
I found out that an employee alleged corruption by the trustees. That's how I found out that we have a manager that has a DUI in his past. And I ask AI, hey, find me the problems. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the high employees and I'm going to compare them to Green Township employees. And I'm going to report who's got the better employees based on AI's bias analysis. Again, I break my word. I do want to give you last word. I'm bad at that. You know that?
No.
Let me just stop. But, you know, I want to get knuckles from you if you don't mind. I hear reset is a conversation that we're going to continue in some capacity.
I'm open to solutions,
and
but
I'm going to accommodate. I'm going to accommodate your request.
I'm open to solutions with you. I don't want this. This was what I wanted to leave with you. I have been in local government for coming up on 20 years. Jeff's been doing it even longer than me. This is the first time I've ever had to write a letter like that. That I've ever felt it warranted to write a letter like that. This is not the first time that, there's been a resident that's had conflict with the community. We sit down and we talk about it. We go out for coffee. We figure it out. I get them the answers they need. Sometimes it's all good and you get a thumbs up at the end. Sometimes you walk away and agree to disagree. But it just is what it is. I have never had anything escalate like this before. So I am willing to, as a general rule of thumb, work with residents and be open, honest, transparent, all of these things that you want. But I need it to, we need the temperature down. It doesn't have to be adversarial, even if we're in disagreement. So what I'm getting at here is I have never been accused of weaponizing government against an individual resident or anyone for that matter. These are, the situation that we have right now, the relationship that you have with the township, it does not have to be that way. I am willing to reset that. I am willing to listen. I am willing to work out solutions with you. But it's not going to be in the form of a congressional hearing that we get to the bottom of this, or a deposition or anything like that. We need to just sit down and have a conversation like human beings. So let's do the reset on that, and let's start there.
This is exactly how I wanted this to go.
Yeah.
Not all this other stuff.
This overtime that we're doing right now was the way I expected the whole hour to go. Is just talking things out. Going back and forth, you sharing with us that you may have a disability that we need to know about so that we can have reasonable accommodations and consider how we handle our interactions with you. Why did I feel that it was warranted to put that in place? Okay, not because I'm answering, this pre-constructed list of questions, but from my heart of hearts, why did I feel that it was appropriate for the first time in almost 20 years to do something like that? We could explain each other. We could show each other what our positions are, and maybe there is some common ground. Maybe we can tone that letter down. Maybe we can open up DTS back to you. Maybe it's not 100% all at once. Maybe it's, well, let's take it down a notch and see how this goes. Yes, you were allowed back on site because you put in a business request that was in conformance with that letter. Everything went fine. I didn't get any complaints about you videotaping into windows or anything like that. You comported yourself in a reasonable manner, and you were generally professional, and I hope that the township staff were professional back to you.
There was shortcome there.
Well,
But I put a positive spin on it when I made my video. I commentated. I said I don't want to badmouth her on video, but the problem is that when I go up there in that scenario, I have anxiety, and I need to be triple sure that I've gotten the permission I think I have, because I don't want to break the law.
Okay.
And I asked her to send me it in writing. She gave it to me on the phone, but I wasn't recording.
Right.
So if I go up there, I have nothing to back me up other than my word, which is crap.
Right.
And
I
so
don't
I
want
asked her
you to
send
have
that me.
anxiety.
I got that I had that conversation roughly an hour and a half, 2 hours beforehand. Yeah. I had to remind her. I called up here to say, hey, can y'all push it forward? I didn't get that letter till 15 minutes, 30 minutes before I had to go up there when I had requested it 2 hours prior. And I'm thinking if you all go mean side, which y'all haven't done yet, y'all haven't called mean side, I'm thinking, and I'm just guessing because I'm not a lawyer,
Yeah.
that hey, if y'all claim that's critical infrastructure that I'm going on, that could be 2 years against me. 2 years, that don't even count the lawyers I'd have to pay and all that stuff. So when I go out there, I'm trying to triple check, and I went in writing, and she's kind of giving me attitude because I'm like quadruple checking that this is a town center, right? Up by Arby's. Can you give it to me in writing? And I shouldn't have to go through that. And that's one of the reasons that folks that are in my movement, I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. I'm going to stop myself right there.
We're running out of time, but here's the thing.
Yes, sir.
My goal in all of this is that we get to the point where you're treated just like every other resident of the township. No special treatment, but also, you're also treated in a way that you don't feel like you're being targeted. Because in my heart of hearts, that is not what I want. I have never told anybody to single out Rich Gages. That is not the goal here. Okay? I don't want to roll the red carpet out for you any more than I would the 30,000 other residents of the township. But you should also know that you can always come to a trustee meeting. You can come to the township, buildings and pick up a public record once you've given us reasonable time to produce it. You can email me or another member of the township and with a simple question and get a direct answer or an explanation.
Things, but the evidence doesn't play out.
Let me tell you.
Have you ever
listen? We're running out of time.
Yep,
You said you'd give me last word on this.
Yes, sir. I apologize.
What I'm talking about right now is the aspirational goal. That's
Yes,
where I want to be. I feel that you're absolutely right. We're not there right now. That letter is still in place. Okay? That doesn't change yet. But can it? Yes, it can. Okay? We are here right now because the interactions in the past have been disruptive. Okay? And I'm not gonna say that 100% of the blame is on you or vice versa. What I'm saying is there has been conflict in the past. I am willing to sit with you and have casual conversations to get to know each other, to find common ground and resolve them. Fair?
Fair.
Okay. Then let's end on that as a good note.
That's a good note.
Let's fist bump and get out of here because we all have better
Sounds
stuff
good.
to do with our day.
Just outside of this, like extra credit,